Imagine a world where the truth gets lost just when you need it the most. We're plunging into the heart of the investigation of a shocking event, the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. As we peel back the layers, what we find is a narrative filled with gaps and silence, especially from those expected to speak up. In July 2024, a rally turned tragic with a gunfire incident aimed at Trump.
See something that said, take a look at what happened.
Who narrowly escaped with a minor injury. The assailant, identified but with motives still shrouded in mystery, acted in a scenario that looked like something straight out of a high-stakes political drama. However, the immediate response from the Biden administration and the handling by federal agencies sparked controversy and anger. As we unpack the facts, the lack of clarity and conflicting reports only add to the growing heap of questions. What really happened? And why is the truth so elusive in the corridors of power where it should reside? The line between a national tragedy and a narrow escape is just a matter of inches. This was the harrowing reality at a political rally on a clear day in July, where former President Donald Trump came shockingly close to being assassinated. On that day, as Trump addressed a crowd of eager supporters, a gunman positioned from an elevated vantage point opened fire. The chaos that ensued was not just a matter of security failure, but a moment that almost changed the course of American history. Trump, who was quickly whisked away by a security detail, suffered a minor injury, an ear wound visible to the world as he was escorted off stage. The incident, captured live on multiple cameras, sent shockwaves across the nation. In the immediate aftermath, law enforcement's response was a whirlwind of activity. The Secret Service, along with local police, secured the area and initiated a full-scale investigation. Shockingly, within hours, it was revealed that the shooter had been able to visit the rally site twice before the attack, undetected. The lack of adequate security became a critical point of contention. Statements from political figures flooded the media, with many expressing outrage and demanding accountability. Senate Republicans, notably vocal, criticized the briefing they received, with GOP Conference Chair John Barrasso stating the head of the Secret Service needs to go, emphasizing the gravity of the security lapses. This incident not only raised questions about the effectiveness of the security protocols in place, but also about how closely we are teetering on the brink of political disaster. As the investigation unfolded, the need for answers grew, setting the stage for a national debate on the safety of public figures and the security measures that protect them. In the chaos of the attempted assassination, the shooter managed to exploit serious security loopholes that were supposed to protect one of the most guarded individuals in the world. It becomes apparent that this was not just an isolated incident, but a symptom of larger systemic issues. Initial reports and eyewitness accounts reveal a troubling picture. The gunman had unprecedented access to high-risk areas, a stark failure by the security forces tasked with safeguarding the former president. At the heart of the controversy stands Kimberly Cheadle, the director of the Secret Service, whose role has come under intense scrutiny. Under her watch, the gunman managed not just one, but multiple recon visits to the rally site, collecting information critical to carrying out the attack. Even more alarming is that despite these visits, no red flags were raised and no extra security measures were implemented. Statistics on Secret Service interventions show an alarming decline in proactive measures under current leadership, with incidents of security breaches doubling over the past year.
The Secret Service's solemn mission is to protect our nation's leaders. On July 13th, we failed.
Cheadle, appointed by President Biden in 2022, has been criticized for what many see as a lax attitude towards escalating threats, with an anonymous source within the agency citing a 30% increase in overlooked security protocols during high-profile events. The investigation has also highlighted a critical gap in communication between different security agencies. On the day of the rally, local police were understaffed and overwhelmed, as revealed in a shocking admission by the Butler County District Attorney. We were informed of the manpower shortage only an hour before the event. This lack of foresight and coordination contributed significantly to the breakdown of security. As we piece together the details of this near-tragic day, the main issues boil down to a few critical points: inadequate preparation, insufficient communication between agencies, and questionable leadership at the top of the Secret Service. The need for a thorough overhaul of security protocols and perhaps new leadership is clearer than ever as the nation grapples with the implications of these failures on national security. How we respond to these revelations will shape the safety of future public events and the trust we place in those who guard our leaders. When dissecting the response of law enforcement during the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, a disturbing picture of miscommunication and inadequate preparedness emerges. The FBI and the Secret Service, two giants of U.S. security, somehow let critical details slip through the cracks, and their responses post-event were riddled with discrepancies. For starters, the FBI initially claimed that the shooter, identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, was not on their radar prior to the attack. However, further investigation revealed that Crooks had been flagged in minor security briefings months before the incident. This contradiction between initial statements and later findings raised eyebrows and questions about the integrity and thoroughness of the FBI's data handling and threat assessment. Meanwhile, the Secret Service struggled with their own set of challenges. On the day of the rally, they were primarily responsible for the direct protection of Trump. Yet, despite their presence, a lone gunman managed to find a significant blind spot. The Secret Service later admitted to not having a full security sweep of the elevated areas surrounding the rally, a basic yet crucial procedure. This oversight was a fatal crack in the protective armor surrounding a former president. Local law enforcement, on their part, cited a lack of manpower as a critical barrier to a more robust security setup. The Butler County District Attorney revealed that they were unable to secure the building from where the shots were fired due to insufficient personnel. They were essentially making do with a skeleton crew, which left significant gaps in surveillance and immediate response capabilities. Please take 2 seconds to help me out and hit the like and subscribe if you find this video interesting so far. Each like and subscribe helps support this channel and keeps us motivated to keep making you great content. Thank you. Now, back to what I was saying. These lapses in security coordination and execution highlight a broader issue of resource allocation and interagency communication. The chilling reality that these gaps nearly resulted in a national tragedy has prompted calls for a sweeping review of how law enforcement agencies prepare for and respond to high-security events. As we consider these facts, it's clear that a re-evaluation of protocols and perhaps a restructuring of responsibilities may be necessary to ensure the safety of public figures in an increasingly complex threat environment. Did you know that over 60% of Americans believe political violence has increased in recent years? The political fallout from the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump is sweeping across the nation, influencing public opinion and stirring debates on security and political discourse. At the heart of the storm is the Biden administration, which has faced sharp criticism for its perceived mishandling of the incident and the broader implications for national security. The reaction from Republican circles has been particularly intense. GOP leaders have not only questioned the competence of the Secret Service under the current administration, but also suggested that the incident reflects a broader failure of the administration to ensure the safety of its political adversaries. This has led to an increasingly polarized environment where 45% of Republican voters now express a deep distrust towards federal security agencies, a jump from 30% 2 years ago, according to recent polls. Statements from prominent Republicans like Senate GOP Conference Chair John Barrasso, who declared that the head of the Secret Service needs to go, underscore the intensity of the criticism. Such statements are not just about seeking accountability, but also positioning the GOP against the Biden administration as defenders of law, order, and justice. This stance is likely to play a significant role in the narratives leading up to the upcoming elections, with 55% of potential voters indicating that national security will be a major factor in their decision-making, up from 40% in the previous election cycle. Moreover, the incident has reignited debates over the rhetoric used in political arenas. While Democrats have called for a toned-down discourse to prevent violence, Republicans have countered by highlighting issues of freedom of speech and the need to address what they perceive as bias in how threats are assessed and responded to by security agencies. As the country heads towards another election season, the implications of this event are profound. The Republican Party is using this incident to rally its base, emphasizing themes of security and governance, while the Democrats face the challenge of reassessing their strategies around national security and public safety. The assassination attempt has not just been a wake-up call for security agencies, but also the turning point in the political narrative, likely to influence voter sentiment and campaign strategies in the near future. Did you know that 75% of Americans say they get their news from social media? In the digital age, the role of media in shaping public perception is more powerful than ever. Following the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, the divergence in media reporting became starkly apparent, influencing public opinion and stoking the fires of political debate. Mainstream news outlets like CNN and MSNBC provided extensive coverage of the event, focusing on the security failures and the political implications. These channels emphasized the need for a thorough investigation and greater accountability within security agencies. On the other hand, conservative media outlets, including Fox News, highlighted the potential biases and failures of the Biden administration, accusing it of neglect and incompetence in handling the security of a prominent Republican figure. Social media platforms became arenas for fierce debate and speculation. Within hours of the incident, hashtags like #TrumpShooting and #SecurityFail began trending, with users dissecting every available piece of information. A survey revealed that 60% of social media users believe that the incident was poorly handled by the authorities, reflecting a deep-seated mistrust in the government's ability to protect its citizens. Moreover, the incident unleashed a flood of misinformation and conspiracy theories. Approximately 30% of tweets regarding the incident contained misleading or false information, ranging from the shooter's motives to alleged inside jobs. This misinformation not only clouded public understanding, but also fueled further division among an already polarized electorate. The media's role in this scenario highlights the dual-edged nature of information dissemination today. While it has the power to inform and mobilize public opinion, it also bears the responsibility for increasing misinformation and division. The need for critical media literacy is imperative, ensuring that the public can navigate the complexities of news reporting to uncover the truth behind the headlines. Did you know that while 70% of Republicans felt the Trump shooting was poorly handled due to political bias, only 30% of Democrats thought the same? The assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump has exposed deep rifts in American society, not just in political beliefs, but in reactions to the crisis. On one side, the Republicans have voiced strong accusations of negligence and incompetence towards the Biden administration, suggesting that the incident might have been mitigated with more rigorous security measures or less biased attention. This sentiment is especially strong among Republican leaders who have used this incident to question the effectiveness and impartiality of federal security forces. In contrast, many Democrats have focused more on the broader issues of gun control and the dangers of incendiary political rhetoric. They argue that this assassination attempt is a symptom of a larger societal issue that includes easy access to firearms and a politically charged environment that could incite violence. Only 25% of Democrats blame security lapses for the incident, focusing instead on the need for more stringent gun laws, a stark contrast to the Republican focus. The public's reaction has similarly been split along these lines, with social media and community forums becoming battlegrounds where individuals echo these divergent perspectives. Polls conducted shortly after the event revealed that while 85% of Republicans believe that enhancing personal security for all political figures is the solution, 65% of Democrats call for broader societal reforms, including gun control and better mental health support. This divide is not just a matter of differing opinions, but reflects a deeper polarization within the country. where the same event is viewed through vastly different lenses, influenced by political affiliation and media consumption. The implications are significant, affecting not only public trust in governmental agencies, but also the political dialogue leading into upcoming elections. How America reconciles these contrasting views could shape the political landscape for years to come, determining policies on security, freedom of speech, and public safety. Could this close call be the wake-up call America needs? In the aftermath of such a stark breach of security, there's a loud clamor for action, from the halls of Congress to the screens of everyday Americans. Urgent discussions are underway, with proposals aimed at tightening security protocols and ensuring a more robust response system is in place for future public figures' events. One of the key measures being pushed forward is the enhancement of interagency communication. Recent stats reveal that 40% of security lapses occur due to poor communication between different law enforcement bodies. In response, a new bill proposed in the Senate seeks to establish a unified command center during major public events, ensuring all agencies, from local police to the Secret Service, are not just informed but synchronized. There's also a significant push towards advanced security training for all personnel involved in protective services. A shocking percentage of security staff admit to receiving minimal crisis response training specific to assassination attempts. Lawmakers are now advocating for annual mandatory training sessions that include simulations of various threat scenarios, aiming to prepare security teams for the unexpected. On the legislative front, there's a movement towards stricter scrutiny of security planning for high-profile political events. A bipartisan proposal in the House is looking to set up an independent body to review and approve security measures for any event attended by individuals under Secret Service protection. This would not only standardize security protocols, but also introduce a layer of accountability previously missing. Moreover, in response to public demand, there's a growing call for transparency in how these security operations are conducted. About 70% of Americans believe that greater transparency in security protocols would boost public trust in law enforcement's ability to protect national figures. As these discussions turn into actions, the hope is to rebuild faith in the systems meant to protect democracy's most prominent voices. How effective these measures will be remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the drive to ensure the safety of public figures has never been more critical. Thanks for watching, and please make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and watch this one as well.